on. You just let me know when you're ready, I'll turn the music off.
Ko te pau tuatahi, ko te pau tuatahi, ko te whanaunga tanga tēnā. Ko te pau tuarua, ko te pau tuarua, ko te ako tēnā. Ko te pau tuatoru, ko te pau tuatoru, ko te aro tēnā. Ko te pau tuawha, ko te pau tuawha, ko te hiringa tēnā. Hiringa I te pupu, ke hiringa I te mahara Mā te tangata tonu e whakarākei Koni kotona whare ka Pūaua kia pāua kia e ai Te kore he taka paunga tau Nana he kāwahua e Kōkiri Nō rei te wānei Nau mai hoki mai hau mai anō Ki roto I te whare o te kaupapa Matua I tīmata te whare o te Ako Wānanga, tēnei anō wana kōrero e puta nei I te rānei, anō reira ko Haani Huata-Allen, te rātu wāhanga I wariwari au tukaki atu, I runga anō I tana kite I te pānau, kotahi o te wānanga o Aotearoa. Tēnei anō au, he pia no te whare nei, he tauira, no te whare nei. Ko tāku noi hoi tēnei wā, ko te tautoko I ngā kōrero wakuhua, me ki ngā tino kai pūmau, kai pupuru I te Māori o Ako Wānanga. I roto I tēnei o tātou wānanga. Hoi anō kai te kite au I te hi o koutou. Kua roa e noho nei ki roto I tēnei whare. O koutou tonu kai te hora I te kōrero ki a koutou kaimahi ki a koutou tauira. Nō reira, ki te kore whai wānei anō te mihi ki a koutou e ūtoni nei ki tēnei mea ki a nei ko te Ako Wānanga. So awesome e te whānau. It's the only job I had to do this week. Start the ngeri. E tikana o taua ngeri I titoa mō Ako Wānanga. Nāku anō I tito, mō tātou. Engari, kia pai te whai I ngā tikanga o te wānanga, I a mātou e puta ana ki ngā whare o te wānanga, mai muri whenua ki muri hiku. ka tū, ka kōrero, ka waiata. Nō reira, ka pai i kāri tito noa, I ngano I te whakahihi, I toa, hei waiata tautoko mā te tīma nei. Engari, ka tukuna te rākau me ki te tino advocate. O Ako Wānanga, mai tana wā I muri hiku tai atu ki tēnei rā. Nō reira, kei ai atu. Hio.
Kia ora tātou, I'm not going up there, I'm going to talk from here. Kei te koe noi ho tērā? So what session did you come to? Ako Wānanga. Ano?
Ako Wānanga.
Kia ora mai tātou. So ko Pihitahi Russell tōku ingoa, if you want to know a bit more, just go to the digital program, click Ako Wānanga, that scary face that you see at the start, that's me. Kapai, there's some more kōrero there. But this, oh, there it is, sorry. But I am here to ask you, first of all, just raise your hand, who knows what Ako Wānanga is? Oh, come on, like up. Kapai, how many of us implement it in our mahi? Yes, yes, and no, just keep your hand down. So. Awesome, that's awesome. Awesome, that's the only activity I had. It's going to be a bit tricky, so I might just get just 2 rows just to talk to each other. So just group yourself. We adults. I just want you to come up with one kupu to explain what Ako Wānanga is in your group. Kapa, you only got 30 seconds, so this is think fast. Ako whakatere tere, go.
Seconds, 30 seconds, 29, 28. Te kau, iwa, waru, whetu, ono, rima, wha, toru ruatahi.
We'll start our meeting again. Okay, so I'll go over there with your one kapu.
And go.
Oh, is your one kapu?
We have 2.
Okay.
We have
Yeah.
ours was one, and Indigozi was another. But we are thinking it expands beyond that.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Ours, Indigozi.
Whakapapa.
Whakapapa. Kaupapa.
Awesome. Whakapa AQ and the whakapapa group. Cool. Tēnei taha koutou?
He whare.
Whare.
He whare.
Nice. Mana. Nice. Koutou, this was a big one. Huanga.
Huanga.
Oh, shkapua, mate.
So funny if this one is.
And you were just coming to listen. So those are all tika kapai, so I'm just going to hand it over to Aramoana. Right.
Kia ora te whānau. I thought this was going to be a hukina mahara, but I'm thinking now that this is also a bit of a refresh of te whare. Ka pai? For us all. So, ko te Ako Wānanga, ko te kaupapa matua. Ko te kaupapa matua, ko te Ako Wānanga. Eri te tonu. Ako Wānanga and te kaupapa matua are one and the same. The whare of te kaupapa matua, formerly known as te whare o Ako Wānanga, is strong. Strong because it is returned to tipuna transmission of learning. Mātai rana Māori. And when we return to our own knowledge, we reclaim our tino rana tiratana. Te kaupapa matua is the name given to us by Auntie Māori Panapa. It includes all te wānanga o Aotearoa kaupapa as a collective. Ko te whakapapa in chronological order, beginning with te kaupapa, the philosophy. Our values, ngā uara, ngā takepu o kaupapa wānanga, Ako Wānanga,
and our current mission and vision. Te Kaupapa Matua is a model, a framework, a pedagogy, indigedagogy, a whare tipuna, which holds within the whakapapa and the aspirations of our organisation. And I'd like you to, kati o karu, I'd like you to imagine your whare tipuna, or if not your whare tipuna, a whare tipuna that you have visited. It could be o tāwhao. And I'd like you to imagine standing on the marae Aotea and moving forward towards your whare tipuna. Imagining the outstretched arms of the raparapa, and then the feelings that you get when you return home to your whare tipuna. And when you enter inside, how are you holding yourself? What is your intent when you're there? And looking around the mātauranga Māori, the whakapapa within the walls. Tūwhera o koutou karu. Powerful, ne, when we return to what is ours, what our knowledge is. Our philosophy, if we start with the tuapapa, sits in the foundation of our whare. The whare encouraging us to, and I'm going to rota atu and ask my mates to tautoko. And rota mai e te whānau, so mahi arina mai, te reo rota, to provide. Holistic. Educational. Opportunities of the highest. Quality. For Māori. Peoples of Aotearoa. And the world. Now my world's like this, whānau. Your world might be a bit restricted by the fellow next to you. Yeah. So that is our whakapapa. That is the foundation. Sits strong within the whare tipuna, to provide holistic education opportunities of the highest quality for Māori peoples of Aotearoa and the world. And then if we think about entering into the whare, from the position of the kuaha, the first wall to greet us, the first pakitara is the uara of ngā ture. So we check ourselves before we enter the whare, ngā ture. And then if we look at te taranui, the side that is usually reserved for tanaka manuhiri, that is the uara of aroha. And then if we turn to te taraiti, the side for our tanata whenua, that is the uara of kotahitanga. And then behind us, the pakitara of wairua, tipuna, tipuna kei tua o te rai, that is the wall of, or the uara of whakapono. And as we approach te whare from the marae Aotea, we are greeted and welcomed by 4 of the takepu of Kaupapa Wānanga. And I've got to do this, I've got to be the whare. So if we look at te waiwai, te amo, I te taha matau, we have kaitia ki tana. Then we look at the waiwai, the amo I te taha Māori, and we have āhuru tana. And then if we envisage the rapa, the outstretched arms welcoming us onto the marae, we have koha mai and koha atu.
Koha mai, koha atu. Just follow the hands, not the mouth.
Okay. And then the tuara, the spine, the backbone of our whare is mauriora.
You have to smile when you do that. No.
The Māori can look like this.
And as we enter through the kuaha, through our door, the huana, the attributes of Ako Wānanga, greet us, speaking to the pursuits of Ako excellence. And so around the lintels, above and below on our walls, we have whanaunatana.
Twice, once for whānau, twice for food.
And then the tāhuhu, the very first post by the puaha. Within that post it's te hirina.
Go Keith.
And the back post on the back wall of the whare, te pautuarono is aro.
Take what you can see, reflect on it, and do something about it. Sorry, just had to hit there.
Yeah, fine. And then the pautoko manawa, the heart of what we do as kaimahi o te wānanga o Aotearoa, we have ako. Teaching and learning. But wait, there's more. Within our tuapapa as well, we have our current mission and vision that reinforce our foundation, the tuapapa of the whare. Kia aha, kia ani tū te tauira. Tauira, success. Hawhai. Mō te aha, he takapau mātou rana he whānau. Te reo Pākehā, whānau, transformation, reignited. Kia ora rau. So there is tōne kura, and you would have heard it in the neri, ngā kimi tāwhiao, which proposes building a whare that will endure with a rākau of humility, resilience, self-sufficiency and self-determination. Tino rangatiratanga. Māku anō hei hana tōku nei whare, ko nā pau o roto he māhoe, he patate, ko te tāhuhu he hino. And so too te whare o te Kaupapa Matua reminds us to uia nā pau o roto. Turn to and inquire of the posts, the walls, the rapa, the amo, te whare katoa, for guidance and for the answers you need in your kaupapa, in your mahi. People serve the kaupapa and the kaupapa serves people. Ko au, te whare, ko te whare, tōku. Kia ora te whānau, ana rā whātu te rākau kōrero ki mai mete. Leah. Oh, I forgot my name, eh? Aramoana whakahoehoe.
Kia ora Aramoana whakahoehoe. Tēnā tātou, ko Leah Fitzpatrick tōku ingoa. Nō Ngāti Pākehā hau. Nō Ngāti Piki taku hoa, so I got adopted by Ngāti Piki. So e mihi ana kia tātou. So just wanted to do a little bit of a, so what happened, because we, because our beautiful whare has gotten a bit lonely and a bit moke over the last probably 6 years of not having a team, such as we were at the time in the 2013 to 2018, to really look after the whare, the ahika of the whare. So in 2013, and between 2013 and 2018, we had a team, and we, in collaboration with many kaimahi across the motu, we developed and curated and delivered a whole range of trainings, offerings, designed to bring kaupapa matua into all sorts of parts of the organisation. And we were pumping at that time. We had a team of 8, which was like amazing. And then, but even though we were pumping, we couldn't quite get out of the realms of the ako space. We couldn't quite convince people yet that we needed to take the kaupapa wider, even though our kaimahi were telling us everybody needs to be doing this. But we couldn't quite crack it at that point. And then we had a bit of a restructure, and our team got dwindled down to 3, and then 1 left, and there was 2. And so then Haani and Kara were looking after the ahika of the whare and doing a fantastic job, and they took the whare into the online spaces when COVID hit. They did it quickly and expertly, but then they got stolen away to another part of the organisation, and then there were none. And so there's still some vacancies there. They've been there for a long time. So we've had a bit of a loss of momentum, I feel. Although I have to revisit this now, having heard a lot of the kōrero today, in the last couple of days actually, that maybe the momentum hasn't been as lost as I had. Maybe it was me that was feeling moke and mātautau, but hoi anō. Yeah, so we've had some wins, and despite the team sort of disappearing into other parts of the organisation, there's a lot of embers. We carried the embers of the ahi with us to our different parts of the organisation. So we've been nurturing them, and not only us. I see they've been nurtured in lots of other places, and there's even little ahis happening around the place, more than embers. So it's very heartening to see. But Haani and Kara, they went off to kia puhia te hau maranga, took their embers over there to be nurtured in that space, in the online training space, and now in the awesome change leadership space that's happening there. So mihi ana kia koutou. Myself and Rihia, we went off to Toko Kauneke, and we took our little embers over there to help nurture the kaupapa matua in the program development space. And we've had Aramoana also as part of Toko Kauneke in the Akoro training space, even though it's about learning about Akoro LMS. You also get a healthy dose of kaupapa matua and ako whakatere in those trainings as well, because we all know that ako whakatere is the toolbox of Ako Wānanga. Just putting a plug in for ako whakatere. And then we had Keith. He's been delivering te whāriki, so that kaupapa continues with kaupapa matua there, so those embers are glowing. And Pihitahi, one of our biggest champions, taking her embers to her teams wherever she is, engaging in Ako Wānanga and kaupapa matua. So all is not lost. And I think the biggest wins, though, is that we now have our leadership right behind us saying, yes, actually, kaupapa matua is for everyone. Right from te mana whakahaere to ngā pau whakahaere. And so after 10 years, we began sort of to hear that. Was really, I was quite moved when I heard that. It was like, woo! So those little embers that we all took to the different places, and we keep nurturing them, they're there, we're just waiting for the ahi ka to blaze away again. And so how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that e te whānau? I know that this is how we're going to contribute to making the fire blaze. We've been doing some rangahau too, i roto i te Ako Wānanga. I'm going to speak briefly to a couple of the outputs, and then I'm going to hand it over to my mates. We didn't do these reviews, but there are a couple of reviews that were completed around Ako Wānanga, and there was an internal one that Sally did, and an external one that Evelyn did, and Evelyn Tobin. So they were completed last year. And in a nutshell, this is me really putting it into a nutshell. They agreed that our whare is strong. It's a strong metaphor. It comes from us, from within us, and we should keep the whare. So we were happy with that. And we need an equally strong and rigorous training program and tools to help our whānau across the organisation engage with the whare in a myriad of ways. Yep. We need, importantly, Sally picked up that we need time and space to engage meaningfully with the whare as well. And that's a big challenge, as we all know. Speaking to the workloads that our kaimahi carry, our kaiako carry, we all are doing a million things. We need to make time and space to engage with the whare, and we need to do it more than once. It's an ongoing, reflective conversation, reflective wānanga that just needs to happen time and time again. So we have to make that space. That's a challenge for us as an organisation. And we need to measure the effectiveness. We need to decide how do we measure the effectiveness of our kaupapa matua practice. So absolutely agree with the outcome of both of those reviews. So I was asked to write a paper, I guess in response to these two reviews, which I have done, and it's almost ready to go up the line with the help of my mates. But absolutely, basically what we're saying is we have the whare. Everyone agrees that The whare is awesome. We already have developed the tools and resources and a proven approach to helping our whānau engage. And that was what we were doing back in 2013, we really heartily believe. We've got evaluations up the wazoo that tell everyone what we were doing was awesome and was making an impact. So we just need to swing back around, I say, and get back to what we were doing. We need a team whose job it is to maintain the whare, look after the ahika of the whare, to maintain the tools and resources, update them, sure, they'll need to be updated and refreshed. But yeah, let's just get back to creating the space and the time. And it is a full-time mahi to have someone facilitate, continually facilitate these conversations in different contexts and help those wānanga to occur. So yeah, e mihi ana ki ngā wānanga kua wānanga hia ki ngā hua kua puta mai, and we've really seen when time and space has been created for those wānanga to happen, what we've seen over the last couple of days is, yeah, Ako Wānanga magic is happening. And it's even happening in places we might not realise. But again, how do we know unless we wānanga and we reflect? Is it happening? Yes, it is. So we need to wānanga. So that's our response. Yep, agree. Let's get back to doing what we were doing. And I guess I'm going to hand over the time to Pihitahi now to talk about her research, her output, which is a puka puka, and then Keith's going to talk about his little short film.
Kia ora, check. Oh, yeah. So I move around. So karoha, just look forward. All right, so the kaupapa that I just firstly want to mihi to te tira o Ako Wānanga, te ohupu manawa o Ako Wānanga. This is what we call the OGs. So our kaimahi here from Ako Wānanga put a lot of energy into our kaimahi of the past and still today, even though we haven't had as much noise as we would have liked to in our takiwā for Ako. So I just want to acknowledge, not being a whakahihi, but I do want to acknowledge our ohupu manawa of Ako Wānanga. So kia ora kia koutou. All right, so cool, those are cool images, eh? Where's Kane? Look. Yeah, AI, kia ora. Okay, so looking at the puka puka, we've come up with a name. Kapai, te hā o te wā. So can anyone tell me what te hā might mean? Essence, kia ora. Another kupu? Breath, kia ora. Another one? Anyone? Anything else? Energy, kapai, so it's breath, life, energy. No, it's not te wā as in te wānanga o Aotearoa. Auntie Ma would come back and kill me. She will shoot me. But it's talking about time. Kapai, capsules of time. So we're capturing all the energies, the bursts of energies that happened throughout time that help build Ako Wānanga into what it is today. Kapai? So I don't know if you know this, but you're actually all a part of it. Whakapapa. Which group said whakapapa for Ako Wānanga? It's all right, so you're allowed to be proud. Put your hand up. Cool, I'm going to have some more activities for you to do now. Who was here during 1985 and 2005? Just stand up. Even if you came left and came back. Yeehaw. Have a look. No, stay there. Stand up. Where are you going? Can everyone just look around at these awesome people? I'm going to keep them there for a bit, and I've got a reason for that. So there were a few initiatives that started. So when Te Wānanga o Aotearoa started, we had philosophy, we had charters. What else did we have?
That's a long time. Mission?
Kia ora, paki. What else did we have?
He reo uara.
Kia ora. I want to pick on some other people. Gee, you're asking like just about 20 years ago. Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, we had early learning units too. Yeah. Ka pai. Oh, yeah.
Tianga whakamua.
Oh, yes, we did. Okay.
We had Auntie Ma and Rono Wetere.
Kia ora. And also coming over here by Whai Georgie, what happened? What did we have that you're doing?
Ako whakatere.
Kia ora, we had Ako Whakatere. Ka pai, so during this time of whakapapa, we had a lot of initiatives that were government responses to help keep our kaupapa alive. Ka pai, koira te whakapapa, what we're built on. Cool, you can sit down now, thank you. Now we have whakamahi. So 2005 to 2025, this better be everyone standing up. E tū. Yeah, stretch up. Don't stretch sides. You might hit someone. So whakamahi. We had green light started. We had noa. We had Ako Wānanga. Kaimahi. We're coming right up to manawa haukura. All of these initiatives that have helped build our wānanga to what it is today. Ako Wānanga is also a part of that. It's still building, we're still building initiatives on these kaupapa today. Ka pai? Cool, you can sit down now. Now we all got to stand up again. Oh, gee, no one listens. 2025 and beyond. So here's our original ohu. Now we are the ohu. Ka pai? So this section here is looking at what it is that we're going to contribute into Ako Wānanga to make it is what it needs to be tomorrow for us now and our future generations to come. Ka pai? Matua Arana, one of my mentors, passed away in 2022. He used to always say to us, don't come to the wānanga and work and not leave something behind. So, anei te wero ki a koutou, what are you leaving behind? What is your contribution of consequence? And now I'm going to hand the raka over to my mate.
So Ako Wānanga is described as our practice of excellence, but that still needs to be cut up in my brain so I know how to use it. And so I liken it to an apprenticeship. Yeah, as an apprenticeship, you're learning these skills that are going to help you be an engineer. But it's not, being a good apprentice is not what it's about. When you're an engineer, you get asked to do a whole lot of things. However, that's not the hokey pokey either. That's not what it's all about. you actually have to develop your reputation as a good engineer. Yeah, so that means you have to be using it all the time. So in the practice of excellence, there is an element of you've got to do something with it. You can't just sit in the whare and then hope lightning strikes. You actually have to do something with it. That's implied in its name, your practice of excellence. However, being a good engineer is not the take either. Yeah, because you will find that when you are a good engineer, the things that you make, you will see help people. And you'll see that when you do so, because that's your accountability. So that's making sure that every time you do something, every time you walk through your whare, that your practice is at a high level, because you know the whare you built is for a whānau that's underneath. And so that is the take. And so those four standards, those four areas might sound familiar to a few of you because I stole them off the Māori continuum. Yeah, when you think of the Māori continuum, when you are in a space of Māori moi, that is you and your apprenticeship. And then you move on through the stages until you get to such a stage where you can actually, it's automatic. I forgot the term that Aotearoa uses about unconscious
Competence.
Yeah, it's like where you actually do this stuff automatically. You don't have to even think that you've got to walk yourself through the whare. It just happens. And so this is my just happens, where I've created a film, or actually I should say I'm creating a film. The first whakaaro that was put to me was it should be like a short 90-second explainer about what Ako Wānanga is. And of course, if you get an inch, you take a mile. And I said, oh, you know what? I should do a film. I should do a whole short animation about it. The reason I chose animation because animated characters are easier to work with. Humans, hard to direct them. Now, it was hard to actually align everybody's calendars. That was the main concern. Was, yeah, how am I going to get all these people to actually do all this mahi? And because WIPCE was like, oh, will it be ready by the week? Because I want you to show. And I was like, well, I've only been on the job a month. And so I can do it. I can cut up a trailer with you. So what you're going to see is a little trailer. And you'll see some of the faces in there might be familiar because I blurred them out. Because I didn't get any of their permission. So this is actually the actual story of the animation. Is it's like 3 stories that intertwine, where there's a point of realization that if they just sat in their whare, they would actually realize some things. And I won't spoil the end, but basically it's, do they come up with a solution to the things that they were going through. So we'll play the trailer.
Ka pai. Kia ora ki. This is only 30 seconds e te whānau, and then kua matu mātou.
In a system largely unresponsive to the needs of its people, where do they turn to seek counsel? Far too often, we have been asked to prove ourselves, to question our very identity. When will we be able to be guided by our values, to stand tall on our principles, to live, to learn our best lives, reflect, learn, inspire and connect. Ako Wānanga.
Yes, so go and see the movie. Won't be ready. Actually, what we're trying to do is time it so that it comes out just before our 40th. So it's something to look forward to. And the trailer is a lot more dramatic. Actually, what I'm hoping is that I haven't sort of given it all away in the trailer, and then the movie is like, oh, you really sucked it. But hopefully it will be completed by the end of this year, and then it's got all those review things that it has to go through for Christmas. Tēnā tātou reti.
May the force be with you. Ka pai. Nō reira, ana i te āhuatanga o te whare o te Ako Wānanga i tēnei wā. Hopefully my little takeaway today is, so there was a time when we would often get asked to stay in our lane, bit like Pānia Papa e uki tō reina, and our whakautu was, oh, we travel the highway. We got no lane, we got 4 8 lanes to use. Kei te pērā tonu te āhuatanga, and whai ngā kōrero a Leah, koina te mihi nui kia koutou, kua noho tonu nei ki te whare aha ko te aha, me te kaui i a koutou mahi, i a koutou anō. And just a real big acknowledgement to our whānau. And like some of you didn't put up your hands, but I can sit there and I can, and I know you're sitting in kaupapa. Ne? So even when you think you're not, you didn't put your hand up, you are, otherwise you wouldn't be here for a start. It's just knowing, getting to know the whare that you sit in, as opposed to not being in that whare. And anei he koha nāru here, she doesn't know I'm giving it, but anyway, I'm giving it. She's doing another certification course today, otherwise she would be here, too. Hui anō, just want to remind everybody that Ako Wānanga is a verb, not a noun. So e mihi ana ki te manawa haukura, e tāwharau nei i Ako Wānanga i tēnei wā, e pai tonu ngā mahi rangahau e puta nei, hui anō ko tana tino kaupapa, ko te whakatū o te whare e whakaruru hau pēnei ngā kōrero a wenei i ngā kaimahi. And we haven't had, well, this is the time to put it out. We haven't had, as Leah said, any kaimahi in that space, but that doesn't mean we haven't been doing the mahi. If we've had kai ako even though I'm under te haumaranga, and that's all right, kei konei, I'm sure we won't mind. That we do Ako Wānanga anyway. So if we've had people come to us in the takiwā asking about support around Ako Wānanga, we've just been doing it because no one else is. And our kaimahi and our kaiako are screaming out for it, e te whānau. Koutou e noho nei me te whakatau hiaha te aha. I runga anō i te aroha ki tā tātou kaupapa a nei taku wero ki a koutou. Whakaorangi anō te tīma nei, o kau ko te tīma nei, e te atu. Engari, mā mātou rātou e poipoi. Ne succession planning. It got to a stage where it was, people actually started calling Kararaina and I Ako Wānanga. But she's Kara and I'm Haani, not Ako and Wānanga. But there was a reason, because that's all they saw. So kia kaha mai tātou, and let's share the load, like Leah was saying. Don't leave it up to one or two or three of us, because that's our job. And our mahi, it's everybody's mahi to sit in the whare and do the mahi. So yeah, I can't wait till we actually have whānau that are back in the whare taking care of the ahi. I love all the analogies today. Taking care of the ahi, and hey, we'll have the mehimi. Hoi anō, just putting that out there too, may as well while we're here. I raro i te ahurutanga o tō tātou whare. So, koina, Ako Wānanga, verb, not a noun. And for all of you that live and breathe and eat it, our tauira benefit from that. Nei rā te mihi kia koutou. Hoi anō ka mihi tonu kia Leah me Kimoro. Nā rāua tēnei whare. I hanga i te tuatahi i raro, me te first 15. May, kei konei, the first 15, only rugby team I've ever been in. Mihi atu ki a rāua, taihua hoki atu ki a Shane, ki a Koko, nā rāua te kōwhai, nā rāua te whakaaro i whakaara, nā wēnei te whare i tīmata te hanga, nā te tīma i whakarākei i ngā pakitara, i ngā paupau, e rā momo āhuatanga. So I really want to acknowledge the hard work that these people put in. And then it was Leah, and she looked after our team. And then Pauline looked after us right through COVID, the two of us. And thanks, Pauline, for just letting us do the mahi. That was the best. And he nui ngā hua. And I also just want to acknowledge Kane too, through that time of online, moving in and being able to have the support, because we weren't hired as digital online trainers, but we had 2 weeks to make ourselves that. So thank you, Kane, for all your support to get Kara and I to that space. Hei oranga mō ngā kaiako. So, I runga anō i tēnā, ana i ngā kupu, nā te puaheiri tēnei karakia, I whakarite. This was his presentation from Uia 3. So those of you that have been through Uia, the last one of Uia 3 is for every kaimahi that's come to us, is to tell us, and there's lots of you that I've watched and still have your videos, by the way, but what this looks like in their mahi. We have loads of evidence of what this looks like in people's mahi, and this was his his contribution back to the space. Nō reire te whānau, mā tātou anō tēnei e taki, tēnei anō te hiki i ngā kōrero, ki ngā pāti o tō tātou whare, hei whakaarotanga mā tēnā, mā tēnā. Nō reire, tēnā tātou. Let's just join in. Oh, yes, Uramunoki. Oh, you want the... it's recorded on the Ako Wānanga page on Te Kōpua. Well, look, he's not going to put his phone down till we do it, so... If you know this man... Come on. Oh, well, we'll leave that for you to think about. But anei te kaupapa matua. And we'll finish off with our ngiri. Thanks. Mā kutaku nei whare hei hanga kona taua roto he māhore he patate ko te tāhuhu he hinau me whakatipuni te hua o te renga me whakapakari ki te hua o te kawaiki he me hawhai e te whare o te Ako Wānanga tātaki o ki ai. Ko te pautuatahi. Ko te pautuatahi ko te whanaungatanga tēnā. Ko te pautuarua. Ko te pautuarua ko te ako tēnā. Ko te pautuatoru. Ko te pautuatoru ko te aro tēnā. Ko te pautuawha. Ko te pautuawha ko te hiringa tēnā. Hiringa i te pupu ke hiringa i te mahara e. Tangata tonu e whakarākei he whakanikoni tōna whare kia pui oi o kia pauaua kia ai te kōrero he whakapau mā tōnganga he pāwahua e wai kōkiri. He's got us on the taumau, reckons
Oh, kia ora tātou. Sorry, I just forgot to add about the puka puka. So I'm proposing with to Rebecca that we do a writing retreat, and it's done in those stages. So it might be a writing retreat where we bring everyone together, we wānanga, we capture their kōrero because it's going to go, and if she doesn't know I'm saying this, hi Rebecca. Oh, he snapped. Nah. And it's about capturing your voice. So listening to Ebony yesterday, listening to Tu talk, to Haani talk, we want to make sure that we're making this authentic as possible. So whilst we've got the kōrero there, we want to have inserts from everybody that have been a part of those initiatives to make Ako Wānanga what it is today. So we're going to be, that's the proposal anyway. Ka pai? I knew you had that question.